You wake up, but you aren't alive. Your alarm screams, and you physically peel your eyelids open like they are glued shut with industrial superglue.
You technically slept for the recommended 8 hours, yet your body feels like it spent the night fighting a cage match with a gorilla.
You stumble blindly toward the coffee machine, a shuffling zombie in desperate need of a chemical resurrection just to function.
Visual of a zombie frantically drinking coffee. But why do you feel like a walking corpse when you supposedly did everything right? The internet is a screaming void! I went looking for answers, and the health industry shouted back with a chaotic storm of conflicting diagnoses. One guru swears it's your mattress density, while a scary medical blog claims you have a rare, terrifying deficiency that requires expensive supplements. Then a study pops up saying you slept too much, while another says you're just stressed. It isn't just confusing, it is actively terrifying. So I decided to ignore the panic, cut through the noise, and investigate the one glowing object we all cuddle with at night. Visual of the phone screen illuminating a face in the dark. This is what I found. Welcome to the Great Orange Lie! As a responsible adult, I did what everyone told me to do when I started my investigation into better sleep hygiene. I opened my phone settings, found that comforting little slider, and activated night shift mode, turning my beautiful display into a radioactive tangerine. I told myself that this ugly, sepia-toned screen was a magical shield that would deflect all the sleep-destroying demons. But I was just putting a Hello Kitty Band-Aid on a gaping chest wound. The tech companies sold us a placebo. I dug into the user manuals and the marketing copy, which promised that filtering out blue light would trick my brain into thinking it was sunset. So I bought the anti-blue light glasses too, sitting in bed looking like a confused sci-fi librarian, convinced I had hacked my biology. I scrolled through TikTok for 2 hours through my yellow lenses, waiting to feel sleepy, but my brain remained as alert as a squirrel on espresso. We are obsessed with the color of the light, completely ignoring the fact that we are staring at a supernova of information. It is not just the light. My investigation hit a wall when I realized that even with the screen dimmed to the lowest setting, I was still awake. We think we are relaxing by watching videos of hydraulic presses crushing gummy bears, but we are actually stimulating our visual cortex. I looked at the content we consume. Angry political tweets, high-speed edits, and flashing notifications that demand immediate attention. You are feeding your brain pure, uncut stimulation while asking it to shut down. The spectrum is a distraction. 0 gram sugar. Focusing on blue light is like worrying about the sugar content of the poison you are drinking. It technically matters, but you are still drinking poison. The apps and the glasses gave me a false sense of security, allowing me to bring the device into the bedroom with a clear conscience. I thought I was protecting my sleep, but I was actually inviting the vampire right into my coffin! Case file 332. The creature of the night logs on. He swipes right, searching for his next victim in the digital realm. The real damage is invisible. The problem wasn't just that I was looking at a light. It was what the light was doing to the chemical factories inside my skull. I decided to stop looking at the settings menu and start looking at the biology of the brain itself. That is when I found the mechanism, and let me tell you, it is much scarier than just staying up late. Meet the victim of this crime. Deep inside the center of your brain, there is a tiny, pea-sized organ called the pineal gland. When the sun goes down, it releases melatonin, a chemical lullaby that tells your 30 trillion cells to shut up and go to sleep. I imagined melatonin as a gentle night nurse, walking the halls of your body, turning off the lights and tucking your organs in. But when you unlock your phone, you aren't just checking an email, you are punching that nurse in the face. This is a biological assassination. I looked at data published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism, and the reality is absolute carnage. That blast of light hits the back of your retina and sends a distress signal that hits your brain with the force of a freight train.
The pineal gland panics, assuming that the sun has suddenly risen and that it is high noon on the savannah. Your brain doesn't know it's Instagram. Your brain thinks the sun just exploded and you need to hunt for survival. The production line creates poison. The melatonin production doesn't just slow down. It is taken out back and executed by a firing squad of photons. But my investigation found that the lack of sleep hormone is only half the problem. The real terror is what replaces it.
Because you are engaging with content, arguing with strangers, or watching high-speed chases, your adrenal glands wake up. They dump cortisol into your bloodstream like...
Welcome to the ambulance test!
Here is what is physically happening while you lay perfectly still under your duvet, scrolling through Twitter. Your heart rate climbs, your core temperature rises, and your blood pressure spikes as if you are preparing to wrestle a tiger.
You have tricked your biology into a fight or flight state, but you are trapped in a bed, so the stress hormones have nowhere to go.
You are chemically sprinting for your life, while physically swaddled like a baby. The janitor never showed up.
This led me to the most disturbing part of the research, the Glymphatic System.
Think of this system as the night shift janitorial crew that power washes your brain cells while you are in deep sleep.
They flush out toxic proteins and metabolic waste that build up during the day. Literal brain trash. But because you spent that first hour doom scrolling, you delayed the sleep cycle, and the janitors were locked out of the building.
You aren't just tired because you lost an hour. You are tired because your brain is swimming in its own filth.
It is a trash fire!
When you wake up groggy, it is because those toxins are still there, clogging up your neural pathways like hair in a shower drain.
We blame the mattress, we blame the coffee, but the truth is staring us right in the face, glowing at 400 nits of brightness.
We have disrupted the single most important biological reset button we have, all to watch one more video of a cat falling off a table.
Stop trying to hack biology. After all the terror of finding out my brain was swimming in toxic waste, I realized the solution wasn't a $100 pair of glasses.
It wasn't a meditation app, a supplement stack.
The solution cost exactly $10 and is arguably the most boring object on Earth. A battery-operated alarm clock.
The investigation ends with a single, non-negotiable law. The phone does not enter the bedroom. Implement the digital sunset.
I started plugging my phone into a charger in the kitchen, exactly 6 minutes before I intended to sleep.
This is the 60-minute mandate. It gives your adrenal glands time to realize the tiger is gone, and the hunt is over.
Without the dopamine hits, your brain actually gets bored, which is exactly what it needs to initiate the shutdown sequence. Boredom is not the enemy. Boredom is the biological signal that it is time to power down.
The silence is heavy.
The first few nights were agonizing, my hand twitching for a phantom device that wasn't there.
But then, something miraculous happened. The night nurse returned. My pineal gland saw the darkness, breathed a sigh of relief, and flooded my system with glorious, natural melatonin.
The janitorial crew showed up on time, scrubbed the floors, and I woke up feeling like a human being instead of a reanimated corpse.
Stomach growling, crunching sounds, lip smacking, and satisfied sighs are prominent throughout. The
It really is that simple.
You don't need a hack, you just need to sever the connection. Leave the chaos in the kitchen, buy the cheap clock, and give your brain the one thing it is begging for.
Darkness!